welcome to Down the Badger Hole. Drew,
I'm Chandler.
we're back after a long hiatus. A little disclaimer here at the front. The two videos you will see after this one, we have much shorter facial hair.
Yeah, probably not.
Way to cough directly into the mic.
I didn't.
No, we took a hiatus because life happened. So, my beard was way
Yeah, mine was really long yesterday, but
trimmed it.
I had Liz help me trim it.
Let us know in the comments below if you think he looks like an Amish leprechaun.
Why?
Like they're always after your Lucky Charms, but the they in question is on a horse and buggy. I don't know. I just think
I don't think
that's your vibe today. Nothing
so,
wrong with it.
So that's my vibe every day then?
Like right now. Yeah.
Why?
Just like the whole thing. Like
That's like what I wear every day.
then, yeah, you just look like an Amish leprechaun. I don't know what to tell you. So how have your weeks been?
Good. I think. Stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah, just money. Just expensive to like live.
Yeah, and getting more expensive by the day it feels. Yeah, no, I got you. I feel you there.
How have your weeks been?
Pretty good. Let's see. Sorry. Autumn got a job.
Oh.
She starts on the 28th, so when we get back from Washington, which is why the next two episodes will be stuff we recorded in the past. Kalen's doing great. The best little man.
He turns 1
November
next month.
Yeah. Month. That's crazy.
That is crazy. I feel like we don't talk anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
Like you're busy working and shit.
Yeah.
Come say hi.
No.
But I've also been doing like a lot of stuff. I've been helping people out with odd jobs and that kind of stuff. Just trying to like keep afloat in this strenuous time. But yeah, so I haven't told you what we're discussing today. Because there's a couple things that I would like to talk about first. And I've got notes for all of this. So the title of the episode will be The Jamison Family Disappearance. And that is the crux of this episode. But I'm just gonna read my before we jump into the main topic, let's discuss these insane weather patterns because a lot of people have been affected by both Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton.
And fires.
And fires and all sorts of other stuff, but the hurricanes are the big deals right now. After first hitting Florida's Big Bend region as a Category 4 on September 26th, which is 2 weeks ago from recording, with 140-mile-an-hour winds, torrential rain, and a far-reaching storm surge, Helene moved inland, inundating parts of Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and Tennessee. It knocked out bridges, roads, and homes. Several dams were overloaded, causing additional damage to surrounding areas. It's estimated that 42 trillion gallons, trillion with a T, gallons of water came from this storm. As of recording, and we're recording on September
11th.
No, not September.
October 11th.
October 11th. It's been a couple of months, guys. As of recording, the death toll has surpassed 230 people, although accurate numbers are hard to come by. This is regarded as the second most devastating hurricane in American history behind Katrina in 2005. Milton made landfall just 2 days ago, and there are still millions of Floridians without power. Milton was a Category 3 storm when it slammed into Tampa, Florida, and swept across the Panhandle, devastating pretty much everything in a much lower-lying area of the country. Milton was superseded by dozens of large tornadoes, and as far as we can tell, these tornadoes are the sole cause of the so far 16 people announced dead. Florida is generally fairly prepared for hurricanes coming from the east, but seeing as this one moved into the Gulf as a tropical storm and then escalated into a Category 5 storm, they're much less prepared for that, for it to hit them on the west coast of Florida. And southern Florida doesn't see many tornadoes, so preparedness for that also isn't as big of a concern. Outside of the abundant evidence of weather manipulation, FEMA giving out $750, which may just be a loan to people whose lives are utterly devastated, insurance racketeering, prevention of private good Samaritans delivering aid, and the federal government buying up large swaths of affected land because it's a lot easier to buy your home when there's no home on it than it is to issue an order of eminent domain. Our hearts do truly go out to everyone affected by the horrendous storms. Stay safe, keep your wits about you in these incredibly stressful times.
And also, like, you know how many people died days after, not because of
Right,
the actual like impact of the hurricane, but like lack of water.
Lack of water. I mean, you
getting like impaled but not dying instantly. Like
everything that's happening with these hurricanes is so fucked up. Did you hear the story about the two guys that they were both, I believe, ex-army, and they were helicoptering goods in, and the government confiscated their helicopter?
No.
And then there's the other story about there was like a it's not FEMA because FEMA's not helping, even though that's their fucking job, but they're not doing anything. There was a staging area where people had goods delivered and stuff, and they were gonna send them out to where they needed to go. And some dickheads in a an unmarked Black Hawk helicopter, came down and like were buzzing all of the goods to scatter shit everywhere. Come to find out, according to the flight data that was there, that came from a Massachusetts or North Carolina, I think North Carolina, uh, Air Force Reserve Base is where that helicopter came from. So if you were involved in that helicopter that decided to just fuck up a bunch of people trying to render aid to other people, you suck as a human being. Because that's really fucked up. That is super shitty. You know, and hey, you could have been using that helicopter to, I don't know, rescue people that are like still stuck in their homes that are underwater, or something useful instead of being a dick. But neither here nor there.
Would you take the $750 loan?
Fuck no.
Imagine.
Also, if your house gets destroyed, you're like everything is gone.
Fucking the whole state gets fucked up.
Yeah.
Other than,
and then they're like, "Hey, here's $750. By the way, you're supposed to pay that back to us." Like, eat a whole dick. No.
Like, our whole country is getting fucked up right now. You know what they would do if we were any other country? Send us $3 billion
or more.
Yeah. Like if
I was
fucking what is it now? It was 2 weeks. So about 3.5, 4 weeks ago, we spent $3.5 billion to fucking Israel.
Oh, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
I saw a thing the other day. It was like a meme, but I feel like memes are supposed to be funny, so but it was with the amount of money, which was like $108 billion. If you divvied the money that we've sent to Israel in the past year out to every Israeli citizen, they'd all get $7,500. 10 times what they're giving to American citizens that have been fucked up by shit that looks like the storm itself. I don't think was man-made, but the intensifying of it definitely seems shady to me.
Well, and the whole country's feeling the shit. I mean, like, if you were in impact zone or not, like, there's still a chance that you're affected by that because your family could live in Florida, so on and so forth. Or, like, I saw a video a couple days ago, and obviously all of Wyoming's on fire right now.
Yeah.
Most of Washington and Oregon, like, fucking a bunch of places are on fire.
Yeah.
And there's people who have, like, super bad asthma or lung cancer or something like that. They're in different states that aren't on fire that are being affected by it. Like, that's just crazy to me that you get $750 and then 2 days later it's announced that $750 is you have to
just
pay back.
Loan.
You have to pay back within a fucking year.
And like a lot of these, like the places these people worked, like a lot of them are gone.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna, after this hurricane, I'm going back to my job. like their homes are gone, their lives have been destroyed. It's
well, and like Kamala was so happy when she was announcing that
she's happy when she says everything because she honestly speaks.
Well, she was so happy whenever she was saying, "Oh, we're able to give the people who are in dire need, that need like baby formula and medication and dire need.
Well,
we're so blessed to be able to give you guys $750."
It's honestly no different than the fires in Hawaii.
Yeah.
That were, what, earlier this year or last year?
It was about a year ago.
And it was like, okay, yeah, well, there's evidence that
your whole
that was started by a crazy laser beam, and yeah, everything's gone. But the Rock's house is fine. Oprah's house is fine. They're like, yeah, here's $750. Sorry, you lost everything. Fuck off.
Like, it's just absurd to me.
Like, this country has seemingly in my lifetime fallen so far, and I feel like probably every generation says that, but this is crazy. We've got homeless vets that can't get the health care they need, but we can send trillions of dollars to Ukraine. Come on.
You want to hand me that pen?
Yeah, you can have this pen.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I genuinely, it's sad.
It's hard. It's hard to live now. Anyway, we will get off our soapbox and talk about something a lot less depressing. So,
He says that, but the title of it is a whole family going missing.
It's
pretty depressing still.
Yeah. I think in the video description we might link to a GoFundMe for the victims of the hurricane or something. And if you feel like donating, awesome. To the 3 people that are gonna watch this. Hi, Mom. Hi, Autumn. Hi, Liz. Maybe. Yay! Our wives and mom watch our show. So you've never heard anything about this case?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Maybe as I talk about it more, some memories will pop up because it's pretty been covered by a lot of different places.
Yeah, I don't watch or listen to podcasts.
That's true. Yeah, like you don't like true crime really either.
Mm-mm.
Well, we don't know if there was a crime in this one. We don't know much actually. So
it's kind of like Love Class.
It's
similar.
It's in the same vein.
Okay.
Yeah, which was one of our better episodes, I think.
Because it's a good story.
The Jamison family disappearance is a mysterious and tragic case that occurred in October of 2009 in Oklahoma, USA. The family, consisting of Bobby Dale Jamison, 44, his wife Sherilyn Leanne Jamison, age 40, and I would like to point out that Sherilyn's name is Sherilynn, Leanne, Leighann. Every unnecessary letter they could have shoved into her fucking name, they did. What's up with that? And their 6-year-old daughter, Madison, Madyson, Stormy Star Jamison.
Stormy
Star are her middle names. They vanished under puzzling circumstances.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. So, the Jamisons were last seen on October 8th, 2009, when they were apparently searching for land to purchase in a remote area near Red Oak, Oklahoma. They planned to move a storage container from their current residence to the 40 acres to live in. They had met with a quote-unquote representative of the landowner to speak about the purchase. And I say quote-unquote representative because this person's name has never been released. The investigators did speak to him. They were like, hey... Well, actually, he came forward and he was like, hey, like, I saw them. We had this discussion, blah, 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 but we don't know who it was. Their abandoned truck was discovered by hunters 8 days later on a dirt road in the Sambois. Sorry, I should have looked up a pronunciation guide. Sambois Mountains, about an hour away from their home in Eufaula, Oklahoma. Inside the truck, authorities found their IDs, wallets, phones, a GPS system, and $32,000 in cash money.
$32,000 in cash?
32 grand. Even more disturbingly, the family's dog Maisie was found alive but severely malnourished, locked inside of the vehicle. 8 days later.
Holy fuck. Well, that was 8 days since
since anyone had seen them.
Yeah, but that
doesn't
realistically, it's probably like 4 or 5 days.
I mean, you don't know. I don't know how long a well-fed dog can go without food.
Like 4 or 5 days.
I never want to find that out. The GPS indicated that the family had previously taken it, either driving or hiking, up a hill a couple of miles away. People that knew Bobby say that he had a bad back and would definitely not have hiked it. When investigators checked the hill, they discovered footprints that seemed to indicate the family had been there. I don't know if they found tire tracks. I did look into that, but I'm assuming that they did because they drove. Because if you got a bad back,
yeah,
uphill, however many miles. So we're gonna kind of get into some theories before we continue the rest of the disappearance.
Okay.
All right. So murder, suicide, or foul play. Some have speculated that the family was murdered, possibly over the large amount of cash found, or that it was a murder-suicide, though no conclusive evidence has supported these theories. If they were murdered for the cash, don't you think the cash would be gone?
Yeah.
Yeah. That it was drug-related. There was speculation about drug involvement, particularly meth, due to the cash found and strange behaviors noted in the family before their disappearance. I think I've got it. Oh yeah. So, a surveillance video from the Jamison home taken shortly before their disappearance showed the couple moving in and out of their house in a seemingly trance-like state, making several trips without speaking to each other or showing much emotion. This odd behavior has fueled theories about possible possession or influence by supernatural entities. Drugs.
Not drugs. I don't think.
Or maybe a drug deal? Like they're stressed out that they got to take their daughter to this drug deal. Like, I don't know.
No.
We will like dive into all these. Supernatural or cult activity. Bobby Jamison's beliefs in spirits. He apparently reported that their home was haunted. He told a pastor that he had seen spirits in the house, indicating the ghost of a family member. He also claimed that his daughter Madison was interacting with an entity he called Emily, whom she described as a friend but was believed to be a spirit. He also apparently asked this pastor about special ghost killing bullets. Yep. A thing. That's a thing.
That's not a thing.
I mean, unless you're Sam or Dean Winchester, it's not really a thing. And if you're them, it's just.
Hold on, someone asked.
Yeah, someone asked a pastor, like, "Hey, do you know where I could get some bullets that could kill a ghost?" Yeah. Yeah. The witchcraft angle. Sherilyn Jamison was said to have an interest in witchcraft. Investigators found a quote-unquote witch's Bible in the Jamison home, which added to the speculation that the family might have been involved in occult practices. Some have theorized that this interest might have attracted negative supernatural forces or that the family was targeted by a cult. There's a little bit more evidence to this. The shipping container that they were going to move from their current property to the new property to live in, it was like literally just a regular shipping container. It like wasn't like decked out to be a tiny home or anything like that. Like a couple years after they had disappeared, there was a saying written on the side and like that had been spray painted on the side that said, 3 cats were killed near here. Witches don't like their black cats to be messed with.
Okay, and these people lived in Massachusetts?
Oklahoma. Messages and notes. Sherilyn reportedly left strange notes that hinted at spiritual warfare or conflicts with dark forces. These writings, combined with the couple's growing isolation from each other, have led some to believe that they might have been under supernatural influence, or what they believed were supernatural influences. There was also something described as a hate letter that Sherilyn had written to Bobby, and the worst thing that she said to or about him in this letter was that he's a hermit. Like he doesn't want to leave the house. I'm like, how's that hateful? You didn't call him like a fucking slob, or be like, oh, you're tired of you leaving your toenail clippings like on the toilet, or I don't know.
Yeah, that's not really.
Yeah, it's not a hate letter at all. It was by investigators. It was described as a hate letter. Some theorists suggest that the Jamisons might have been influenced or possessed by malevolent spirits, which led to their disoriented behavior and ultimately their deaths. The guy that they spoke with, the last day they were seen, said they weren't acting strangely at all.
Unless he's really fucking weird too.
Mean, he could be really fucking weird. He's the middleman for like a land sale, so
yeah,
I don't know. Who knows? Oklahoma be like that sometimes. And then curses or witchcraft. People think maybe Sherilyn, because she had an interest in witchcraft, because they found a witch's Bible in the house. Says that they might have been cursed by another witch, or they had been involved in some ritual that backfired, leading to their demise. Cult activity, yeah.
Is there any like logical theories? Like, don't get me wrong, I believe in that kind of shit. Yeah, but like is there any that are like okay, that could actually
like the drug angle seems to be the most logical to me.
But that's not true.
No,
a drug dealer, if you're gonna kill a whole family, you're not gonna leave without
taking the money.
30 grand.
Well, yeah, and some people have pointed out, well, oh, maybe Maisie was like, oh, you killed my people, and like was just like,
okay, if you killed people, right, you're gonna kill a dog.
That's what I'm saying.
For $30,000.
That's also what I'm saying. And people have also pointed out, like, oh, well, maybe they parked the truck there and then hiked to meet this person to do the deal and like left the money in the car. And I'm like, A, that's not how a drug deal goes down, and B, if Bobby had a bad back, he wasn't hiking anywhere. Yeah. So like,
also, you're not gonna take your 6-year-old daughter to a drug deal.
Well, if you're on drugs,
no, I don't think.
Reddit would very much disagree with you, with a lot of firsthand accounts of people being like, "Oh yeah, I was like 3 first time I went to a drug deal with my dad."
Yeah, I guess we could ask Mikey.
We could. Hi, Whiskey. You gotta go, little clickety clacker. On November 16th, 2013, more than 4 years after their disappearance, the partial skeletal remains of the Jamison family were discovered by hunters less than 3 miles from where their truck was found. Different direction than the hill they had originally hiked to. Where they were originally at, not hiked to. The remains were confirmed to be those of the Jamisons through forensic testing. However, the cause of death could not be determined due to the state of the remains. 4 years later, and they're like, oh, we found some bones, and they found like shoes and some articles of clothing, but the bones that they found, like, it wasn't full of skeletal remains by any stretch of the imagination, but it also was less than it looked like would have been predators picking at them, or it was, yeah, less than that, unless like a pack of Oklahoma wolves decided to carry off, 90% of the body of all 3 of them. Despite the discovery of their bodies, this case remains unsolved. The circumstances leading to their deaths are unknown, and there is no definitive explanation for the disappearance. The lack of clear evidence and the many strange aspects of this case have led to ongoing speculation and interest in the case. I would like to point out that Sherilyn had a .22 caliber pistol registered to her that was never found by investigators. But they also never found shell casings. They never found bullet wounds on any.
Shit, if you couldn't find the body, there's no way in hell you're gonna find bullet casings 4 years later. Like,
bullet casings last for a long time.
Yeah, but like when it's gonna be a lot more difficult to find fucking bullet casings versus, I don't know, remains.
Yeah, that's true. Bullet casings are much smaller.
Yeah.
But they couldn't find the full remains, so yeah, no.
Did they excavate the whole surrounding area?
They did a full investigation, and well, before this, they had gone out in a 5-mile radius search pattern
from where the truck was.
And they never found them.
How far?
It was less than 3 miles. It was 2.7 something miles, 2.73, I think.
Okay, so there's a few options that either A, the police officers suck ass at their job.
I mean, that's wholly possible.
B, they weren't dead yet.
Also true.
C, they were dead, they just weren't there yet.
Yeah, or they were hiding.
Yeah.
They had climbed a tree to avoid being caught by the people looking.
No, you would have.
No, of course. They also wouldn't have, like. So, okay, another theory that I heard was, oh, maybe they were like, screw it, we're just gonna live off grid. No. You don't leave your GPS. You don't leave your dog.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't leave your dog.
Like, and you take the truck because at least you can sleep in it.
Okay. I am not by any means a murderer, nor do I think I could. I mean, I could, but
you're not a serial killer.
I have no intentions on killing anyone.
Sure.
Like, if need to be done, I could do it. But if need to be done, I don't think I could kill a dog. I can kill animals, don't get me wrong. I can go hunting. I can kill animals. Dogs, on the other hand, chihuahuas. But that's it.
Or 0. No, like I
even if it was for 30 grand.
I agree with you. I would have.
But also, if there's 30 grand in there, I could jump on the hood, open the door, and let the dog out, and then like
there are like ways. My brain just like, and the family says that they weren't involved in drugs, but neither of them had been working for many months. They were financially destitute, according to the rest of their family. Like, they were about to lose the home.
Okay, I mean, there's options. They were trying to buy land.
Yep.
So they could have pulled literally every single dime that they have to their name, because the day before they went missing, they went and looked at land.
The day.
Yeah.
The same day.
So that could have been to be like, hey, I want this land. Did we ever find out how much land was? Like, is that in any of the articles?
It's not in any of this.
But $40,000 in 2009.
Well, 32 grand. It was 40 acres.
40 acres in 2009.
Yeah, went a lot further than it does now.
Checks out. So 30 grand could have bought that, so like.
And so that was my thought, maybe because Bobby seemed like the preppery kind of, I've got gold buried, and so let's go dig it up, and we'll see how much it's worth, and maybe we can buy ourselves a plot of land, and just, we've got the Connex that's paid for, we'll just get that moved over there, and we'll just live there, and then we don't have to worry about anybody telling us anything. But at the same time, there are like such weird things, like, you don't, like, if you're that kind of person, you're not just gonna walk out into the woods.
Not without your dog. Like,
well, even at that, like, the clothes that they found weren't like, it wasn't like survival stuff. It was like what you're wearing for a day trip. They weren't wearing boots. They were wearing sneakers. Like, there's a lot of things that are just
fucking weird.
It's weird. It's one of the weirder cases that I've looked at. Yeah.
Like, even if they were like, okay, let's get out, stretch our legs, take a walk, right?
Right, but with a bad back, you're probably not walking 2.7 miles away from your truck uphill.
No, correct. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if you absolutely need to, you would.
But that's the thing. Were they running from something?
My only thing is, if you are running from something,
bring the dog.
Well, not only that, but why are you running away from your truck?
And why? Well, yeah, and also, why is your cell phone still in the truck?
Yeah.
So, like, okay, even a scenario where some dude makes him pull over and like comes up and he's like, "Get out of the vehicle," and they all do it at gunpoint, and then he's like, "All right, this is a good enough spot." What was why were they just taken out by some random backwoods Oklahoma murderer guy?
I mean, that's possible.
It is possible, but like, the motivation for that, like, just, it doesn't.
I mean, a lot of people, not a lot, but most people don't have a motive. They just want to kill.
No, most serial killers at least have like hype that they go for.
Was there any other? I doubt you looked into it.
But this wasn't a spree.
Well, I doubt you looked into it. But was there any other mysterious killings around that same time? Not even in that general state.
You're right. I did not look into it. I'm sure there were. I mean, this is the U.S.
I mean, like
2009. Like
it could have been some sort of serial killer that,
and it could have been, who just offed them and then disappeared.
But also, like,
why? And so that's the only thing that makes any sense to me, because like, he wouldn't have known. I say he because most serial killers are men. come at me. He wouldn't have known about the money. He would have been like, no, you leave the dog here. You leave your phone, your GPS, all that stuff that stays in the car. Get out now. And then, this looks good. Plat, plat. But, like, they also didn't, like, they didn't have enough remains to determine what the cause of death was. And the temperature in the weeks after they were, they had gone missing was not cold enough to. There was like a lot of rain, but it wasn't like a freezing rain, so it would probably dip down to like 45 at night, but that's not necessarily enough exposure to kill you.
Okay, was their vehicle found like this? Do you know?
No, the doors open. The doors were all locked.
Okay. I don't know.
If the doors were open, Maisie probably wouldn't have still been inside.
That's true. Yeah. But in this picture, I don't know. I don't fucking know. The only thing that
nobody knows. That's the point of a mystery.
Like another thing that I don't know. Like they could have pulled up here at night, and they could have been like, "Oh, we see something." But even at that, you're like, that's the only instance where, like, if I had whiskey with me, but I also wouldn't allow Liz to get out of the vehicle. Like, right, if I saw something, if
it's like, oh, let's go crazy. What is that big furry thing over there?
Yeah,
and he's like, give me the pistol, and he goes out there like they're not gonna follow him.
I mean, I wouldn't let my family follow me, but I'm also like, I don't know.
Like, nobody knows.
Like, drug dealers out of the question.
Yeah, according to the family, like they weren't regular users of
anything
illicit narcotics. I mean, they smoked weed.
Yeah, who hasn't done that? I don't fucking know. And the fact that they did they could have just been really, really bad. But also, if you're doing a complete investigation like that, I assume you're gonna have dogs, and dogs would have found those remains.
Yeah, they had dogs in the search party originally.
Yeah, which means their remains weren't there.
Yeah, they were probably dumped there.
But like, how? Because
that's the thing. Okay, so
because they see tracks. How many tracks did they specify? How many tracks they saw?
No, that was
the
at the other side.
Yeah,
it looked like it was just the three and the dog.
Okay, so it's 3 and the dog, and then they get back into the vehicle, and then they drive down the road and get out again.
Yep.
But they leave the dog this time.
Right.
The dog's maybe tired, but so would the people.
So okay, some serial killer comes up, get out of the car at gunpoint, leave all your crap here. Dog stays here. Don't fuck with me, I'll shoot you. They all get out. He's like, all right, now get into my van. Because serial killers all drive vans. And then they're all like, oh my God, please don't kill us. And he's like, shut up. And pop, pop, pop. And then he takes him to his secret lair, which I imagine is like an old outhouse that hollowed the bottom out of. And then, hold on. And then after the search is like super done, he's like, I'm taking you right back to where I abducted you, like 3 miles away from where I abducted you at.
I mean, it's just woodland. So, like, people aren't smart.
No, I know, but like, why would you drop them so close to where their truck was found?
Incompetent? I don't.
Oh, just sheer stupidity?
Yeah.
Right? That could be the case. Yeah.
You're killing a whole family and not taking $30,000 that's in the vehicle that you took the family from. That in itself is stupid. I don't care who you are. If you're
well, that's even to say that like that's what happened, that they were killed by somebody. But we like the fact of the matter is we don't know.
Like the only thing that
I think that's as
I say this
plausible as like an alien abduction.
Well, and that's what
that's dropped in the woods.
Well, and that's what more towards what I'm leaning. Like some sort of supernatural.
You know, like you don't think it was Emily, the little ghost friend?
No, but like genuinely, like an alien. Like they see something and then they're enticed to get out.
They just see a shimmer, and they're like,
"But again,
oh no, it's the predator."
Again, though, like I feel like it would had to have been nighttime, and I don't care who or what or nothing. I wouldn't allow Liz and my child to get out of my vehicle at night in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, that part's fucking weird. But broad daylight, fucking alien just sitting in the street, and then they all are like, "Oh, what the fuck's this?" And then they go to it, and then he's like, "It's like, get you, bitch," and shoots him in the neck with something, and then suck him up into the spaceship.
But again, all right, let's say you're driving along a country road. You got you got Liz and your unnamed baby in the car, and you see something weird in the road. Are you all going to get out? No, you're just gonna get out and be like, "What is that crazy thing right there?" And then if you discern it's not dangerous, you go, "Hey guys, come check this out." It's baffling. It's perplexing. We're not like I don't think that we're ever gonna have a definitive answer to this case.
So they were able. So the remains. There was bits and pieces from every single one of them.
Yep.
But not all of the remains.
Correct.
How many remains?
I've seen between 70 and 90% were missing, which is a lot more than predators are going to take. Because even if it's coyotes, right, they're just going to pick at the bones. They're not going to carry the bones out.
I can't even find a picture of the remains.
Because there wasn't enough to.
Was that them?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, he looks like a serial killer, though.
So that lends credence to the murder-suicide thing. But also, he had a bad back.
And he also looks like a meth head.
He was 44.
Yeah, he looks like a drug.
I mean, he could have been. The family could just
and
be.
And so does she.
Could be like, no, they were great. They went to church and stuff. Oh, there was. Oh, sorry. I completely forgot the.
Okay, but they don't hear.
Right. So there was also one of Sherilyn's friends received a phone call years after they disappeared, before their bodies were found, from someone who said that she used to hang out with a white supremacist group that kept a hit book of people that had wronged them. And that Sherilyn's name was in the book. So, I mean, maybe, and the family also says, well, they didn't have any ties with any white supremacists, but like,
your family,
your family's gonna be like, oh, they were pillars of the community, and no one expected this. That's what they said about Bundy when he was caught.
And the amount of stuff that you can hide from your family, like, my only thing is, okay, so I don't think drug deal is out of the question. Again, I don't care who you are. You're not going to take your 6-year-old daughter to a drug deal.
I think you're wrong. If you're on drugs, you don't.
Okay, either way, the money's still there. So what was the point?
So the weird thing is, how'd they get 32 grand when they were about to lose their house? Because even if, let's say whatever, I got a stash of gold in the backyard. If I'm getting close to the point where I'm like, shit, we're about to lose the house, I'm digging that shit up and cashing it in.
Gold?
Whatever I can use to get $32,000. That is a massive amount of money.
Yeah. Well, not only okay, so back to, in my opinion, drug deals out of the question. Murder suicide is out of the question. Yes, he looks like a serial killer, but how? You're dead. You can't hide yourself.
Yep.
Like.
Yeah. And the cadaver dogs would have found them on the original search.
Yeah. Especially even if it was 3 or 4 days after they actually went missing.
Yeah. They'd still find them.
Yeah. Or even if it was that day. And more towards what I'm leaning is they have tracks going up a different hill. I don't think that they were missing whenever the people were trying to find them.
Oh, you don't think so?
No.
You think that the truck was found 8 days after anyone had last spoken to them, and they weren't actually missing yet. They were just trying to live off grid with
potentially
zero survival gear.
Potentially, or like the dog wasn't dead, so it wasn't 8 days.
Sure.
At most, it probably was like 4. Without food and water, humans can die within 3 days of no water.
Well, okay, yeah, I think you're confusing the timeline a bit though. So it was 8 days between when they were last seen by someone else and the truck was found.
Yes.
So you're saying that from day one, they were alive for a few days, and then they ditched the truck there for some reason.
I think the truck was only in that spot
for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
A day, 2, maybe 3.
I'm not sure how much that changes the theories.
Well, it changes a lot because they probably weren't dead yet.
When the truck was found, it's assumed that they were dead.
It's assumed. That doesn't mean that.
Sure, but
assumption just makes sense.
There were still people looking for them. So what did they do? Hide in a tree?
Potentially.
I mean, 5 miles out is a large area to cover. They had helicopters and everything.
Yeah, no.
Where the fuck were they?
Okay, even if they were dead, you would have found them. Like,
yeah.
You would have had a better chance of finding someone dead than alive.
No, if you're alive, you can go, help, I'm pinned under a boulder.
Not if your intention is to hide. Like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not. But even at,
like they could have been like, oh shit, someone's coming for us. Like, just like insanity. They could have been going through it and they were like, okay, we have to get everything we own, which is just this money. Like, we sell everything and then we have this money.
That's not like, I mean, their house wasn't in disarray or anything. Like, there was also a briefcase that it was reported in like one place I saw that was also missing in addition to her gun, but it's like, okay, it's a briefcase. Like, I'm not sure what relevance that has.
I really fucking don't know.
Well, nobody knows. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Chandler is perplexed over here.
Well, it's just like there was something going on, or the police just suck at their job.
Porque no es dos.
Also, how the fuck does a hunter just stumble upon remains that have been sitting there for 4 years? They're gonna be buried.
They were mostly buried.
Okay, yeah. So
they found the shoes first.
Oh, okay.
They found articles of clothing. They're like, what the hell? Why is there all this clothing out here? And then they like started kind of brushing stuff away, and they're like, oh shit, that looks like a femur, or whatever bone they found first. That's a tibia.
And then the aspect, I mean, is there wolves in Oklahoma?
No, I don't believe there are. We could Google that though.
Yeah, I'll Google it real fast.
There are definitely coyotes though.
Yeah, coyotes are just gonna drag the whole body.
Well, and then they'll just pick off the meat. They're not gonna take bones away.
Coyotes are very they're not gonna just eat something right then and there. They're gonna drag it to their den and then they'll eat.
Depends on how big the thing is, but like, bro, maybe.
The dude's tiny.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they're all not large.
Like, coyotes would have just dragged it to their den. Even if it was 10 miles, that's what coyotes do.
Well, yeah, but they also wouldn't have left parts of them there.
What was I Googling?
I don't know. Are there wolves in Oklahoma?
Yeah. Are there
I would be surprised if there are.
In Oklahoma. No, wolves are not native to Oklahoma, as they were extirpated. The fuck is that word? What's that mean?
Exterminated.
Okay. In the 30s. What? Is there bears?
In Oklahoma. Black bears. Well, Chandler continues to look.
There are black bears.
Oh, there are black bears in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Yeah, but black bears wouldn't fuck with you.
If you're dead.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's true.
But also, then again, I mean, that case, it could have just been a murder-suicide, and a bear could have just been like...
That's it. I think you solved it.
Maybe.
No, I mean, we'll never know unless a bear comes forward and was like, I ate those people, which I don't see that happening.
Well, did you see that new thing that they're starting to do? So, fuck. I don't know how to explain this.
If you're about to tell me that we're going to be able to telepathically talk to...
No. Okay. In 2020... in 2020, there was people who got eaten by something.
Cool.
One person survived, but he was all sorts of fucked up. And he didn't know what it was. He couldn't remember if it's a bear, a wolf, he couldn't remember. So in this state, every single animal that was shot or killed or found dead, they tested the lining of the stomach to see if it had any, like, DNA from the missing people, or bone marrow. I don't remember. But they did this testing to find out, and they found what animal it was. And it was a brown bear. No, it was a brown bear.
Grizzly.
And that in itself is crazy. Also, while we're kind of on this disappearing weird mystery kind of shit, I don't have too many details. I read an article. I don't remember their names. This was probably about 2-3 weeks ago. A grandfather and his grandson went camping, and 4 days later, a family member, I believe it was the grandfather's nephew, so like a cousin, yeah, found both of them dead in their tent.
Weird.
No
gunshot wounds,
no gunshot, no nothing. But they were both found dead in the tent.
Carbon monoxide poisoning?
That's what most people are saying. But from testing, at least from whenever I read the article, because it had just happened, they couldn't see signs of it.
Weird.
But further testing, I'm sure I could find the answer now.
Do you remember where this was?
It was on, hold on, I'll find it right now. So I get a bunch of news right here. Hold on, I can tell you exactly what it is. People.
We'll have the notification. Oh, I see. Okay.
People news.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it because
grandson found dead in tent. Yeah. Oh, it was in the UK.
Oh, it was a brown bear?
No.
Oh no, this is a different one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it was unresponsive in their tent on September 14th.
Whoa, that is 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. I don't know.
Almost.
I'll look into it a little.
Okie doke. Well, let us know what you think happened to the Jamisons.
I think now that we know that there's bears, I think it was murder-suicide. The cops really suck, and then a bear ate them.
I mean, that's
the only thing.
That's the only way it could happen.
Well, who had the gun? The wife?
It was registered to her, but then...
Was he a felon or anything?
As far as I know, the answer to that is no.
Because, I mean, that would make sense. She has a gun because he can't own one, but it's for him.
Sure.
But also, 22.
Yeah, I mean, 22 will kill somebody just as well.
I mean, yeah. But that's the only thing that makes sense. It's like, oh, let's go take this hike. And they took the previous hike. They took the previous hike because he had intended on doing it. Or she had intended on doing it, but didn't find the right spot. Like, she was like, one of them was like, oh, if I do it right here, we'll be found instantly. You know?
But, you're going to off yourself. Why do you care?
I don't know.
It seems like because if you're gonna kill, let's say it was Bobby. In this hypothetical, if you're going to hypothetically kill your wife and daughter, are you thinking rationally enough to be like, oh, this is too open of a spot, I can't do it here? You don't give a shit, especially if you know you're gonna off yourself.
Okay, on that note, or they were hiking. I don't know about you. Anytime we go hiking, we live in Wyoming where the bears and wolves and everything is trying to kill you.
We got mountain lions in this bitch.
Yeah, so guns are a necessity here. Even if there wasn't mountain lions, they're stupid people. So
also true. Other potential serial killers, or just potential serial killers.
or just potential stupid people that have guns.
Also facts.
But like they could have just been hiking and then they gotten into it, and then he hypothetically he shot her and was like, "Oh fuck, my daughter just saw that." So, and then oh shit,
that's grim, bro.
Or shit, I just killed my whole family.
It's like the ending to The Mist.
But like,
spoiler alert for a movie that came out in 2002.
But like, possible.
Damn.
I tell them no, I've never seen it, nor do I care.
It's a good movie.
But also at that point, like, still, why the fuck is a dog in there?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, we can talk circles all day about this, but there's not going to be a clear resolution ever.
Someone's figured it out. There's no where it's 2024. How is there still unsolved cases? We have all of the
happens.
Okay, and I was just telling you a story about someone. They tested bone marrow in an animal and were able to tell that it ate someone.
I mean, like, yeah, like they clearly didn't do that to the animals in the area to determine that. Like,
as we're talking right now, there's some sort of ship in the sky that can scan us through our house.
I mean,
no, 100%. That's the thing. That's like,
yeah,
like, how is there still unsolved cases? That like past makes sense because that's like, Russia.
Well, this is also the backwoods of Oklahoma, though. So it's not like, and it's not like these two people were on, an FBI watch list or anything. So why would they dedicate resources to track them via satellite or anything like that? Like,
there's a missing family with 30 grand. You're gonna do whatever you can to find.
They're not gonna retask a satellite. They had helicopters in the air, and didn't find them. So like,
you say it's a small town in Oklahoma. We live in a state that most people don't know is a state.
Actually, r/Wyoming doesn't exist is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, like most people don't realize that this is a state anymore.
That's fine.
Not anymore. It's just people don't like.
But no, like you're missing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I don't think that it was negligence on the part of the police. Like I think that they did an exhaustive search. And is it possible that they just missed this spot where the bodies were? Sure, but it would have been a lot easier to find them then than it was 4 years later.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
So like,
and even back to my thing, if it was murder suicide, and where I was like, oh, I can't hide myself after I'm dead. Like you could kill them, hide them, and then hide yourself, and then shoot yourself.
But that's such a.
But bones were found surface level,
right? So that's such a like. I mean, I can only imagine that's such a traumatic mindset to be in that I don't think you're going to be thinking clearly enough to be like, oh, I've got to hide under this pile of leaves. Like, you're not going to fucking do that.
Also, if you're killing yourself, it
doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
But you say that. We say that. But that dude and chick, I don't remember their names. The dude who killed his girlfriend in Yellowstone and then killed himself. You know who I'm talking about? Yeah. He hid himself before killing himself. Like,
well, but that was like at his parents' house or whatever.
No.
He wasn't in Yellowstone anymore. He had come home and all sorts of shit.
Well,
Gabby Petito was her name.
Yep.
Because I've got it on the list.
Yeah. Like,
poor girl.
Facts, bro.
But like this whole family too, like whatever was going on, it was terrible. Because they were all found dead. Parts of them were found dead. Like it's terrible.
And I mean, I guess that is another thing is if a bear did kill them,
a brown or a black bear wouldn't have killed him.
Not unless it was fucking with its cubs.
Brown bears still aren't generally very aggressive.
Black bear.
That's what I mean. Brown bears are the aggressive ones. Black bears are the fluffy, cuddly ones.
Fluffy, cuddly in a sense. I mean, fucking like.
I mean, yeah.
If you mess with its cubs, it's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
Their intentions aren't bad, but like. That's like saying.
I mean, that's like saying that grizzlies are just they wake up on the wrong side of the bed every day.
Yeah. But like you fuck with my family, I'm gonna kill you.
Sure,
like,
but I don't think you can ascribe like human emotion and thought processes to animals.
You don't fucking really.
Like, yeah, obviously a mama bear is gonna protect her cubs, but like,
you just said animals don't have emotions.
No, I didn't say they don't have emotions.
That's what he said.
You
guys.
cannot. This has been down the badger hole.
No. Hold on.
I'm trying to wrap this up, bro.
Okay, we can real fast. What do you think happened? Because you haven't even said that yet.
Oh, so my out the badger hole is, I'm honestly gonna go with aliens.
Yeah,
because I think that's as logical as any of the other. I mean, probably not as logical, let's be real, but like,
I think so.
You know, they're driving home and they're like, oh, maybe let's look for some more land that like we'd like to try to procure or whatever. And like it gets dark, so they're like, ah, shit, it's like too dark to get back now because there's no streetlights or whatever. Let's nap in the truck. It doesn't even have to be nighttime. Fucking UFO beam comes down, picks them up, does all the butt touchy stuff that the Greys are known for doing, and then just drops them in the woods, like whenever, any time in that 4-year period.
Well, and that could explain why their remains were scattered. Like they could have just been driving or flying through and just boop, out the drop hole.
Out the drop hole.
Like, no, I agree. It's either that or murder suicide, and then
Meat Orb, open the airlock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I truly don't know.
So this is less baffling than the Dyatlov Pass.
Pass.
Dyatlov Pass still fucks me up.
Yeah,
because it's like
what the fuck?
Like how?
They were like ripped apart. Like they were fucked up.
Yeah, they weren't just like killed. It wasn't like, oh, he's dead.
We found parts of him.
His skull's caved in.
Right.
His spine is twisted like a pretzel. Like these people were brutally fucking mangled.
True.
Yeah. It's like a coyote got into a chicken den. Chicken coop. Yeah.
Yeah. It is like that, but with people.
With people.
That were like experienced outdoors people.
T-Rex.
Like a T-Rex got into a China. That's it. Well, this has been Down the Badger Hole. I'm Drew. He's Chandler. Please let us know what you think in the comments below. Email. It's all linked.
Okay,
it's all linked. I'm not gonna say it. Don't worry. But yeah, we're back.
Well,
always gonna have the last word.